Hey, this is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
I'm Jeremy Saffer, rock photographer.
Hey, this is Baz Black.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hey there, this is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
Hi, this is Mike Aloisi, also known as Author Mike. I am a biographer and writer, and you are watching the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom Stevens and Jamie Westwood.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Chronicles of Podcast. We're back once again with the 72nd edition, Jamie. 72nd! I do, but it is a little bit nuts, I'm not going to lie to you. I do believe these Chronicles right here, these Chronicles this week, this one that's around us right here, it's around us now, they're around us today, are the Chronicles of Michael Aloisi?
Yeah, they are.
Wonderful. I like this a lot. We're getting the hang of it now. You know, so take us 72 editions. But anyway, let's get to it. Hit it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 72nd edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And are the Chronicles of Michael Aloisi. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, ladies and gentlemen, as always, this handsome bugger right here.
What did you just fucking say? This is Scotsman Tom. What's going on, guys? That's one of the fastest things that you've ever said in your life.
Enjoy you to edit ladies and gentlemen, I said.
Oh, it was literally like the Flash. Where was I going with this? I was going somewhere with this.
Did you get my intro tune, by the way? I wasn't
That's
sure.
What I was going. No, is it horror based?
I was doing the Friday the 13th saying that.
Is that a thing?
It's the noise in the background of Friday the 13th.
Is that when he's coming, or like not literally? Like, hey! as in when he's somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a sort of generic. Oh, Jason's around noise.
Okay, that's weird. Is that the sound of Crystal? Is it Crystal Lake?
It is Crystal Lake. Check it out.
Yes, Iceman kills. That's the only reason I know it. I forgot what I was going to... Do you know what, Jamie? I'm just going to stop because I'm trying to talk about a subject. I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. So
yeah,
it's like he's just a big man with a hockey mask, and he was killed. He was drowned in Crystal Lake by his mum.
Not by his mum.
Damn it! I was so close. Anyway, on an unrelated subject, I was walking to work last Thursday. And there were two chaps in front. I don't know if they were on something or that they were just generally how they were. But a guy genuinely said cheers to a pigeon for letting him walk past. And I was a bit like, I actually just witness a guy who said thank you to a pigeon because so he was walking this way, the pigeon was coming across. So I was behind them, and he literally went. They literally stopped in their tracks. The pigeon stopped in its tracks, and he just went, "Cheers," and then kept on going. And I was like, "Did that?" I suppose the pigeon just go, "Cool." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. What's up?
The problem is I'm laughing, but then there's that thing in the back of my head that goes, "You'd do that, wouldn't you, Jamie?" Yeah, you probably would, to be honest.
It literally put its hand on everything. Cheers, mate.
Yes.
So weird. It was just one of the weirdest.
I love it.
It's one of those surreal moments where you go, did I genuinely just see that happen in front of my face with my own two eyes? I almost want to tap him on the shoulder and be like, excuse me, mate, did you just say thank you to a pigeon?
You should have, just to see what you said. Yeah. Pigeons deserve manners.
I mean, they roam the streets. The streets are theirs. I'm surprised they haven't got knives and tattoos and whatnot. So wearing bandanas around their neck. Anyway, so I have a story for you, Jamie.
Okay.
I teased this at the trailer to let you know that I have a mum story.
Oh, yes, you did.
I have a mum story. This is one. I'm really worried that it's a you should have been there moment, but I'm really hoping it's not. So I hope this translates.
Okay.
Anyway, for those that remember, my mum is a wonderful woman who told a funeral, I don't know if it's a director or someone that works in a funeral home, to fuck off at high pitch in the middle of Gloucester City Centre because he ignored the couple in front of her and stopped her to talk about her funeral, how she thought about it. My mum's in her early 50s. I don't think she's got anything to worry about right now. So anyway.
Fuck off! I just love doing it.
So I gave her a ring because I thought, I haven't spoken to mum for a while. Let's chat. So we're having a bit of a chin wag. And then she mentioned, she's like, "Oh, love, I've been flicking through Netflix, like I'm trying to find something to watch." And I was like, "Oh, there's this, and this, or whatever." She's like, "Yeah. No, I started this show." I was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Yeah, I started watching Manifest." I was like, "Okay." She went, "Yeah, it's really weird. It's quite confusing." And I was like, "All right, okay." She's like, "Yeah, I got 3 or 4 episodes in, and I was like, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, I don't really get it." And I was like, "Well, are you not supposed to?" My sister turns up and goes, "Oh, Mum, it's because it's been on Sky." And she went, "Really?" My sister pressed the pause button. She'd been watching season 4. So she started the show at season 4 going, "I've got a bloody clue what's going on here, but, it's obviously something's going to happen eventually."
I've noticed it says season 4.
It's my mum. She's great. Just happily watching a TV series midway through its full season. It's just on season 4.
Like it took her 3 or 4 episodes. You still didn't notice it said season 4.
I reckon, mate, she would watch the entire thing. If my sister hadn't have been there to tell her, I think she would have watched the entire thing without going, "Oh, well, that was weird. Bit of shit, really, that. Didn't have a clue what was going on."
Oh, your mum's an absolute legend.
So funny.
Oh,
she is.
God,
She is so funny. I love it to bits. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's like, I literally will check it about 15 times before I press the button. I'm like, am I on the right series? Am I on the right episode? I do not want to ruin this. Am I in the right place? And I'll press X, and generally, it's like I forgot to lock the front door. I'll press X on the PlayStation to play, and I go, circle, circle, circle. It is the right season in the episode, yeah? Like, every time, I've got to make sure before I...
There's only been one season, Tom. I don't care. I've got to check.
Just got to make sure. What do you mean John's dead? Like, yeah, I hate that. I hate spoilers. You know how much I hate spoilers. I'm so like, it is episode 15 of season 1, yeah? Okay, good. 20, what? And fine. Excuse me, so I'm checking my own saliva here. What's going on? What's happened to me? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, there's one thing I really don't get, and it's becoming more common, I feel. I think it's becoming more of a sport. The World Slapping Championships. Right.
Yeah.
What the fucking ass is this? Literally, I'm not joking, right? These are some big dudes as well, and they literally stand there and go on then. Why? Why?
Have you seen the same article I've seen about the man with the horrific injury?
Is this with the brain injury?
He's basically dislocated his entire face.
Yeah. It's not even you don't defend yourself. I don't get it. Why do you want? First of all, why do you be a world champion slapper? That sounds weird in itself. And second of all, like,
sounds like a girl from Essex. World champion slapper.
Just going, oh, that, and you got this guy's full pelt, like, oh, where's your jaw gone? Oh, happens all the time. Don't worry about it, Dave. It's just so weird. The amount, the brain's getting shook. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. The next thing's going to be the World Stabbing Championships, I imagine. Go on then. Go on. Look, well, I'll just go for the heart. There you go. Oh, he's dead. Perfect. I win.
World champ.
That's what. You might as well do that. You might as well get a machine gun out and blow him away. Like, what is the point?
What has to happen in your life to go, do you know what, Dave? You know what? I'm signing up. I'm going to be world champion at slapping other dude in the face. Like, why? Do something else, you fucking weirdo.
You know what? When I was growing up, I wanted to be a human statue. But then I realised that I didn't want to, I was quite good at standing still. So I thought, fuck it, I'll go in slapping championships. Do you reckon they're probably old retired human statues that have had enough and want to do something else with their lives?
They're perfect at standing still, so they don't react. It makes sense.
Even weirder, who watches this shit?
A lot of people, apparently.
I think they're going, go on, he's going to absolutely twat him. It's just no, like, oh, he's hit him. Cool, right, your turn. Go at this. It's like fucking golf.
I get it. Some people get into competitive, like physical sports, but that's competitive. That's you defend yourself. You know, you don't want to be beaten. This game, fucking hit me, mate. Don't get it. Do not get it.
I'm waiting for his head. I'm waiting for the Exorcist to happen. His head just to turn around. Or yeah,
oh, that
insane.
was a good one, Dave.
Absolutely
Brought me fucking
insane.
neck, Dave.
I think he's dead. Anyway, how are you doing, my friend? You well?
I'm very well. I'm a bit. I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, "Come on!" I'm really excited to record this evening. So I'm very good. I'm in a good mood.
That's good. So we like it.
It's probably because I've had a day off today. Because yesterday was possibly the worst day I've had since I started this new job. So today was like, you don't need to go to work today. Fuck yes, days on a high.
Why was it?
Oh, just on my own, no staff. It was just like, do you know what? I think right now I might just get up, cry, and leave. The thought did go through my head a couple of times. Yeah, just it wasn't a good day in the office yesterday. Let's just say that. But we all have bad days at work, don't we?
I suppose what happens. We don't want to give anybody a pay rise, not actually hire any staff, bleed it till it's dry, and then privatize it all.
Yeah. Cheers, Taurus. Okay, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. Just a lot going on in the old nogs at the moment. So
I get that one, sir. I get that one.
Yeah, but fine, absolutely fine. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Put it that way. Yeah, all good, my friend. All good. There's not lots really happening. So just buzzing for New York now. Just ready to go. Ready to get the motherfucking shit out of this country for a bit to go to an even worse motherfucking country.
It's not like you go to a better country.
No, but it's I get to forget about life for a week. It's gonna be nice. So,
yeah.
And I get to meet up with a former guest, which I'm very, very excited about. So it's gonna be it's gonna be absolutely wonderful.
I keep forgetting you're doing that.
Yeah, plans are currently in the works, so I'm very, very excited. The one thing I'm really gutted about. Obviously, Daddy is returning. He's released his brand new trailer, which is absolutely wonderful about horses you'd love to fuck and whatnot. If you want to fuck a horse, it's got to be this one. Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait for him to return. He comes back to film 2 days after I leave.
Oh.
And the office is round the corner from where I'm staying. And I was like, motherfucker.
Oh. You at least going to go see it?
Of course, I'm going to the building. Yeah, hell yeah. I've applied for Jimmy Fallon tickets. Late night with
cool.
Yeah. So, because they're free. And it's in the HBO building, which is round the corner from the hotel. So I was like,
nice.
Screw it. If I can get in there and go and find the Last Week Tonight studio, then I'll be a very happy man.
Just hide for a couple of days, wait for him to come back. Hi!
Yeah.
Adopt me!
I'm under the desk, Daddy. That might be a weird thing to say.
It's a little bit.
It reminds me of the Norman Neal story when he was under the desk, dressed up as that puppet for the whole thing, just like making him giggle. God, I love that man. Anyway, so I was a bit like shit. And Chris D'Elia, one of my favorite comedians, is doing a New York show on the Saturday, the day after I leave. I'm like, for fuck's sake. This is not working out. At least I'm going to Monday Night Raw. At least that's going on. Do you know what I mean?
That's going to be good.
It's going to be amazing. Like me and Kerry are just buzzing off our tits. We're so excited to go. We've booked so much already, and we're just going to have the best time. Like I just can't wait. We're going to go and see The Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
They are currently filming season 3 as we speak. It's on Steve Martin's Instagram. So hopefully they're still filming when we go and see it.
That would be amazing.
Get in my face, Paul Rudd. Come on. So yeah, we're going down to go and see the building, the Arconia, but it's called the Bell Nord. And it's a 15-minute tube ride from where we are. So Subway Rad.
Subway.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a massive tangent there. I do apologise. What have you been doing yourself?
Not a lot, to be honest. I've mostly been doing that. I've been getting my Rihanna done, to be honest. I've mostly been work. On the earlies, which suck. I can't wait to get off the earlies next week. I hate doing earlies so much.
Is it the wake up that it's the worst bit, or what?
Yeah, it's just waking up and I just don't like the early shifts at all. Been going to the gym and not much this week. I've just had no time. I've been so much on. Just not had time to do that. Went to see the kids. I went again today, which was good fun.
How's that?
It was good fun. Me and Sam hung around. He got me trying to get me to play Minecraft. I do not get that game at all.
I
just I don't know why kids fucking love it. And he was well away doing all this stuff, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I just so confused. I just passed the controller to his cousin. I was like, you play, I'll watch Sam. I don't know. But I did find out that Lena has been promoting our show.
What?
Basically, last time Lena came to stay with us, she saw my box of business cards and she's like, Dad, can I have some? I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, you go give them to all your friends, though, as a joke. She literally went to school and handed them out to all of her friends. She gave one to two of her teachers, and her teachers put it up in her classroom.
Really?
One of our business cards is in my daughter's classroom on the wall.
Is that a little weird?
I don't know.
Because this show's not for kids.
I know. Her friend came over to me and showed me her phone screen. He said, the Chronicles, a Sunday friend. And I was like, what the fuck? So if any of my daughter's friends are listening, hi and sorry.
You're going to be learning a lot today.
Yes.
Welcome to the Chronicles of School with Tom and Jamie. So fuck is a word you should not say ever until you're at least 14. Shit is okay. When you get to about the 11, 12 age, shit is fine. Ballsack, absolutely fine. Just don't play with them for a while. Titties, absolutely fine. You'll have them all. Perfect. No worries at all. Ass, however, is fine.
Ballsack is fine. Just don't play with it for a little while.
Sorry.
Oh, that made me laugh. Oh,
now God. I know my age. Just don't come and play with me.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry if any of her friends are listening to this. But to be fair, it's your own fault. Watching-wise, I watched Adam Rowe's new stand-up special. Adam Rowe is one half of the Have a Word podcast team. I watched his new stand-up special. It is absolutely fucking brilliant. I really enjoyed that. But other than that, sir, it's been an emotional week because I finished season 4 of 24.
Yeah,
my
that
God.
ended is
My God. Woo! That was an emotional roller coaster if there was one. Oh, I couldn't believe she was in it though. I can't remember her name. Who plays her now? But the girl that tried to kill President Palmer with the hand thing, and I was like, I did not expect her to come back. I was like, oh, it's you! I forgot about you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just so much going on. Absolutely incredible. I know I said it before, like season 3, I love this season. You're not going to beat that season 4 comes along. Holy fuck, you ain't going to beat this one. And now I've watched the first episode of season 5. That was my homework from you to do before we recorded. That was a fucking emotional roller coaster. Like less than 2 minutes into the show, I was almost in tears on the train.
So it's begun. Okay. Series 5, I'm not joking, like it doesn't stop. You're not going to I reckon you'll smash it by next week.
But next week?
But it's probably one of the best series ever. Series 5.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, that's the beginning. It's just the start of it. So you wait till you get into it. Like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's intense.
2 of my favourite characters dead. One of them's like fighting for his life, and I'm like, what is going on? Not happy.
Yeah.
And President Logan, what a twat. Do not like that guy.
No.
And I like him even fucking less now.
Yeah.
No David Palmer.
No, mate, don't eat. Do you know what's worse? Right? Do you know what's worse? Because obviously I watched it when it was on TV. In the trailer for the new series, that beginning part is in the trailer, and I was like, "Are you fucking for real?"
What?
So he already knew it was going to happen when the series started. Yeah.
But at the same time, that to me would just go, this season is going to be insane if they're giving that away in the trailer.
The series 5, Jamie, you're in for a ride of you thought 4 was good, you thought 3 was good. Fucking hell, you know nothing. You know nothing. I'm actually really jealous that you get to watch series 5 for the first time ever. I've seen it 7 or 8 times, and every time I'm like, this is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's just the fact one episode in, and I'm like, I don't know if my heart can take this. It's insane. I've got 23 more of these fuckers. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
It's great.
So damn good. Damn good.
Yeah.
Oh, and our boy James Morrison's in it now. So, like, yes. I fucking love his voice so much. He could just
love Bill.
Anything, I'll be so happy.
Yeah, we just love Bill. He's just great. He's a great character.
He's great. Although, when he first came into it, I was like, you stay away from Michelle. She's Tony's. You do not fuck with Mr. Almeida, right? But then that was fine. He made up for that. I was all right with him then. But anyway, yes. What have you been up to, my friend?
I just can't. Before I get into it, I just cannot wait for the text messages, for the WhatsApp messages for Series 5. I'm serious. I can't. I literally cannot wait. Because I got to watch Keris go through it, and it was just... Like, I found it so funny, not at her because of how emotional, how like wound up she got by it all, but like because it was just beautiful to watch it all again. Like it was almost like I watched it for the first time through fresh eyes. It was just lush.
Oh, it's so good.
That one thing that everyone says, if there's one series you could watch again without, if you could forget a whole series and watch it one again, what is it? It would be 24, without hands down, without a shadow of a doubt.
I've only watched 4 seasons, and I might agree with you, to be honest. It's so fucking
It is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, and it doesn't stop, and that's the beauty of it. It just doesn't slow down. So, anyway, we should probably move on, because I can sit into 24 for years.
Welcome to the 24 podcast.
Well, we've had 2 guests, so we might as well keep going.
Well,
although Danielle's only in it for... Danielle's in this series, so, yeah.
Oh, is she? Oh.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
She was
Anyway, let me move on before I massively need sports then, so I'm glad I shut up. Anyway, so, yeah. What have I been doing? So, my brain was like 24. I'm tempted to watch it again, actually. Anyway, anyway, so yeah. So, we've been doing a lot of Rihanna-ing, of course. And then over the weekend, I was just a bit like, do you know what? We should probably just go and do something. So, Keris babysat for her sister on the Friday night. And they gave up. They were like, "Oh, thank you so much. Here's some money," because we had the kids here as well on the Thursday. So on Saturday morning, she went, "Do you want to go for breakfast?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to go for breakfast." So I went to the Drago Lounge for breakfast, and I had like the fucking whatever it was, the plate that's like ginormous, like 15 quid breakfast, and I smashed it. And then Keris couldn't eat all of hers, so I started to smash hers. And I got to like the last bit of bacon and toast. I was like, I can't eat anymore. I'm too full. I'm going to be sick. Because foolishly, I decided to have a beer rather than an orange juice. Don't know why. I just went, I'll have a Moretti because I fucking love beer and Moretti. Anyway, that's besides the point. So then Saturday afternoon, we sat and chilled. We just watched a bit of TV. We finished Suspicion. What a fucking shit ending to a good show.
Oh, really?
My God, I was like, the show's great. It starts off weak, but it gets really good. And at the end, I was like, oh my God, here's the big reveal. Oh, that's the reveal.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, all right. And I was a bit like, oh, well, I'm disappointed. Should we go to TGI Fridays?
What might you get over here?
I took her out for dinner. Because we haven't been out in like 8 months.
Oh, really?
Like, I haven't taken up for ages because we've been saving for America. It's just been so hard. Yeah. So we did that. So we went to TGI Fridays, and then Sunday we went shopping. We decided to have a bit of a shopping spree. We decided to go to Cardiff, and I got my beard lovely trimmed. Yes. Because I'm off to London for work on. I'm off to work on to London for work on Tuesday. So I wanted to at least look prim and proper because obviously it's quite a big event with a lot of big wigs and whatnot. And I went and bought some new shoes / trainer shoes. They're Etnies, They look like really nice shoes, but they're not, if that makes sense, like trainers, but they're lush. And that was again for New York, and because my trainers are dead, and for work and stuff. So I thought, fuck it, I'll treat myself a little bit. So did that. And then it was NFL Sunday. Oh, it was NFL Saturday as well, but it was NFL Sunday, which is good. So I enjoyed that. So it's fucking division. It's the conference championships this week is Sunday, and then 2 weeks from the Super Bowl. All right.
Oh, it's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, Rihanna's halftime show, and Chris Stapleton is doing the national anthem.
I have no idea who that is.
So he's a country artist. But I'm not a big fan. It'd be great. I listen to his songs and been like, not sold.
Fair.
Which is fair enough. So we did that. So then obviously it's been Rihanna in, and then we did a wonderful interview, which obviously you're about to hear in this episode on Monday night. And Jamie, here we are.
Here we are indeed. Well, look at that. We're all caught up. Do you reckon we should check in with our friend over there?
We should absolutely. Come on, Braden. What steakhouse you got going on?
All right. Is this thing on?
Well, howdy doody, everybody.
This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man! That's right, Shaggy! Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boys!
Jamie?
Yes, sir.
It's time for your favourite segment of the week.
Yeah,
it's time for Callum's Treachings.
Ooh.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Well, Callum is back once again to treach the nation. So, without further ado, what is Callum treaching us this week?
It's weird how normalised it is to travel down a road going 60 miles an hour, only a matter of feet away from a car going the other direction.
You know, that's a really good point. Consider how uncomfortable you are on the roads normally. We should not have had that one.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even think about it. I think because the barrier in the middle always makes me feel safe. It's the people that try and weave in and out that I don't like. But that's almost as pretty much close as when you go to a train station and they go, the train at platform 1 is not going to slow down at all. And you're like, oh, awesome. So, yeah, thinking about it, it is pretty mental, really. Don't America just have freeways where you don't actually have any of that? That's just how it is.
Just as is, yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah. But even 30 miles an hour, I know it doesn't sound that fast, but it is, and you're literally fucking next to each other going at that speed. You've only got to go, whoops, and all hell is breaking.
Yeah,
I'm already terrified to learn to drive. This treat is not helping.
Yeah, I was straight away. I thought of motorways. I didn't even think about country lanes and stuff. I remember my brother-in-law was taking. I hate country roads. My brother-in-law was taking me home once, and he flew around this corner. It's literally one lane. Flew around the corner. Car disappeared. I was like, "Fuck!" And my brother. This was even worse. And I went fucking apeshit at him. There's a back road between Huckercote and Churchdown in Gloucester. Which is all country lane, but one part of it is like cliff edge. Only one part, which when you come down, then you come down the hill into Huckercote from Churchdown. My brother loves to mess around with his iPod, just picking songs when he's driving. He was coming down this country lane quite quick, and as he was getting to this corner bit where, like, if you don't turn, you're off that cliff edge, and he went, "Oh, what song should I choose?" And I was like, "Joe!" And he literally was like, "Oh shit!" And then he went, "Oh, don't ever fucking go at me though." I was like, "Oh, you're a dick." Yeah, I know.
Don't have to go at me for almost killing us, Jesus.
I get so sick and tired of people trying to change music and songs when they're driving. Like, stop doing it. Let the passenger do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't want to die. Thanks, I'm great.
Yeah. Should we move on? I don't like this one.
Yeah, sorry. Well, we digress. We'll move on. What else is Callum treating us?
It must have been really disappointing for the first human to discover the ocean to realise they couldn't drink it.
Oh, there is nothing worse than getting seawater in your mouth.
What do you reckon they just did? It's like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to, Sharon.
It's so salty. I'm somehow even more thirsty after drinking that.
Fuck, I'm parched. I'm even more thirsty than I was before.
I just got this image of this like early Stone Age person drinking it. Fuck, I'm parched.
Do you reckon that's how they invented that stupid little silicone bag for microwaves?
Maybe.
Who ate that? Who saw that and went, "Oh, a free meal"?
Oh, it's in a microwave. I bet it's a microwave me.
Oh, like, why is there? Obviously, there is a scientific reason behind it. I was about to ask a really stupid question. I think, why is the sea so salty? It's just like, could you imagine man at the beginning of life just went ha ha and just jizzed everywhere, and that's all they all did.
To be fair, there's bound to be a lot of fish jizz in that water.
Yeah, or shit. Imagine how long it takes to shit, and it always looks like a candy cane. Weird. My dad had fish years ago. That's why I know. And it was just white and red, and like, that's odd. It takes like 15 years to get rid of it.
Oh, making me think of Christmas.
This is so strange. But yeah, that is shit. I just go for it anyway. Oh, now I'm dead because I actually didn't hydrate in any way, shape, or form.
Nothing worse than seawater.
This is horrific treatures for you.
Yeah, it's just making me want to go cuddle myself in a corner.
Let's find out what he has for us last. And finally, Jamie, what is Callum teaching us week this?
In sitcoms, people never seem to go to work. And in crime dramas, people are always working and never seem to go home.
So true.
It is so true.
The only time you ever see people in sitcom at work is if it is based at their work.
Well, Friends, they work, don't they? And it's all based in the apartment buildings? I don't watch it. I don't like
Friends,
it.
the only person we ever really saw at work was Rachel when she worked in the coffee shop where they all hang out as part of the show. Other than that, you don't really see any of them. Again, unless something's happening at their place of work, they're never going, I'm going to work now.
Well, Frasier is he's at work all the time in the radio station. I suppose not a lot, though. He's always
part of his show. It's part of the show, isn't it? He's a radio host. But he's very rarely going to work now. Bye.
That's so true.
And the crime drama thing, what makes me laugh is I was watching 24. I was on the last episode, I think it was, and I was going, do you know what? They've been here for 24 hours. They were up even longer than that before the episode started. They must be fucking knackered. They've been running around shooting guns, doing all sorts. They must be so tired. The middle-aged man in me coming out and going, sod all this fighting terrorists. I just need a nap now, I think.
Yeah. That's blown my mind. I'm trying to debunk it and I can't.
You can't.
That what a treat to end on, Jay. That is absolutely incredible. That
didn't scare wonderful. Me. Yes.
Seriously, end on a high. That was great. Top tier treats to end on. Top fucking tier. And now I have to follow it.
Yeah, please don't scare me.
Time for Tom's Journal.
Yeah, it is.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Not a strong opener, but we'll go with it anyway. Highly unfair that humans aren't bioluminescent, if you ask me. My proposed bug fixes for humanity 2.0. Rework lower back to remove structural weakness.
That I'm with.
Teeth now regenerate.
That I'm with.
Remove redundant forms of hemoglobin. Fix feeling like you're falling when asleep glitch.
Yes, that'd be nice.
Optional bioluminescence. Fix allergy glitch. Patch out mosquitoes.
What was the last one, sorry?
Patch out mosquitoes.
Yeah, get rid of them. I like that. And yes, being bioluminescent would be pretty cool, to be fair. Especially for cyclists.
I don't know what it means. I just thought it was funny.
means you can light up.
Okay, I see. There we are. Jamie, what if your mental health had yearly wrap-ups like Spotify does? This year, you cried 1,183 times, hated yourself afterwards 617 times, avoided 17 social gatherings you were invited to, believed 789 lies your anxiety told you, and vowed to try harder 9,342 times.
Fucking brilliant. I don't imagine what mine would be. No, thank you. I don't want to read that back.
British people. Hey, guys, we developed a thing called the metric system. Americans, adult deer are as tall as a bicycle. They weigh as much as 800 hamburgers.
I can't remember who it is. I think it's Kevin Smith, who basically measures everything in Jaws. So it's like, the shark from Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
But like a football field is 4 of the shark from Jaws. That's how he measures things. Because it's just how he sees it in his brain. Americans really need to learn the metric system.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Sorry, Americans listening.
So I found someone had fake messages from Corey Taylor.
What?
How do you know they're fake? So these are fake messages from a fake person pretending to be Corey Taylor, right?
Okay.
First of all, his name is Corey Taylor 111. Okay? And it says, "Hi, Happy New Year." No way. This isn't really Corey Taylor, is it? I'm from Slipknot. Oh my God, it is you. Put my fingers into fries. This one, I'm going to send you to put on the show.
Okay.
A brand new McDonald's sign in America. They'd misspelt the word Angus. And all it says is, "Try the new anus pounder."
That's what it does on the way out after you've eaten it.
Yeah. Oh, we can have anal there. Fucking A.
The McDildo.
Jamie.
Yes.
Do bar staff in clubs have some sort of like special hearing? You order a drink and think, how the fuck did she hear that? I can't even hear my mate when he's shouting down my ear, for fuck's sake.
I have often thought that. So when you say it, even you can't hear it, and you're saying it, they're like, okay. They deliver it perfectly. Like,
yes. It's nuts. Like, how do you know what whiskey and coke? What the ass? Like, there's someone like there, and you're like, I can't hear what you're saying, Dave, to be honest with you.
The amount of times me and you have stood in the middle just like singing the completely incorrect song lyrics down each other's ears, and we still can't fucking hear it properly. Yeah, you say to someone at the bar what you want, they're like, no problem.
Yeah, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. A waiter came by. I was like, "Oh, I see your glass is empty. Would you like another one?" Like, why do I want 2 empty glasses?
Fuck's sake! Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh. So, this is quite a weak journal so far. I'm not happy about this, Jamie. I need some laughs.
I've been enjoying.
I need to get you really going.
Okay.
Bands are always like, "Big things brewing," eye emoji. And it's always just songs or something. That's not big things. That's just what you did last time. I want a band to tweet, "Big things coming," eye emoji, and then a series of government buildings inexplicably explode.
I'd say, to be fair, we do that, but we don't explode government buildings as much as Tom would probably like to.
Well, yeah. Nixon on the...
I was in New York.
Back in our day, Jamie, there was so much toilet paper and eggs that we would throw them at the houses of our enemies.
I never fucking did that.
I never did it. So, yeah, I used to hate Halloween because it was like, trick or treat, you're like, treat? Like, oh, we'll pelt your house anyway. You're like, why? What is the point of it?
We gave you sweets. Fuck off. just never had that overwhelming urge to go buy a pack of eggs and throw it at people. Maybe I'm weird.
No. So, this is as close as we'll ever get, Jamie, to hearing Greek philosophers discuss. Macaulay Culkin. Before Sir Mix-a-Lot, people constantly lied about their butt size preferences. Don't tell me lyrics can't change the world. Sir Mix-a-Lot responded. In 1992, I felt it was absolutely necessary to expose the drawbacks of pancake ass, while simultaneously pointing out the benefits of a juicy round mound.
I like more juicy round mound or pancake ass. Or the fact Sir Mix-a-Lot and Macaulay Culkin had a Twitter interaction. That's just
exactly
great.
Greek philosophers discussing ass.
He's right though.
Jamie, when life gives you lemons, give the lemons back. Why were the lemons free? Is there something wrong with the lemons? Are the lemons haunted? Be suspicious of the lemons.
That's the most 2023 reaction to that ever. Why are you doing something nice? What's wrong?
What's going on here? Let me just check where I'm at. Yeah, I'll end there. Perfect. When to use the mini jog? Zebra crossing?
Yep.
Petrol station forecourt?
Yep.
Corridor of held doors open?
Yes.
Car to post box?
Yes.
Returning the supermarket trolley?
Yes.
After tripping over nothing? And when the bus you're running for pulls away?
Yes, you just have to slow down and just sort of style it out. Like, I didn't need it that much, it's fine. Like that tripping over one though.
Tripping over that. Yeah.
I meant to do that, it's fine.
I was listening to it. Yeah, it's fine. It's part of the routine. If you hear weird noises in the night, simply make weird noises to assert dominance.
As you know, I'm not going with this one because I'm not the one that wakes up to weird noises in the night. Becky is. And if she hears a weird noise and just starts going back or something, it's going to scare the shit out of me and wake up the kid. So don't do that.
But at least she's asserting dominance there. So,
well, yeah.
Any of Lena's friends listen to this, make sure that's what you do.
Assert dominance. If you hear a weird noise in the house, make the strangest, weirdest noise and wake up all of your parents and siblings.
Yeah. Ah! Oh, wait. There's no falcons here. I don't know what I'm on about. Finally, Jamie, my bills are washed, my laundry is paid, clothes are baking, and dinner's in the dryer. I fucking got this.
I'll be honest, when you first started, I was like, did he say that right? Then it was where it's going.
And finally, happy birthday to Edgar Allan Poe and Dolly Parton. This was last Thursday. Working 9 to 9 for a man whose eyes are creepy. That's why I decide to assault him when he's sleepy, but his heart still beats in the floorboards where I said it. It's enough to drive me crazy if I let it. No, that's a bop, and I love it. Woman, cried I, somewhat tearsome, who are you to stand so fearsome? With your wavy locks of auburn hair and eyes of emerald green. Quoth the woman, I'm Jolene.
Fucking... I was like, where's this going? And I sort of tweaked as you were saying it.
And that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
I like that. That was great. I never thought again Edgar Allan Poe, Dolly Parton crossover. I like it.
I'm amazed I read it and sang it perfectly as well because I just went on the... Yeah. Not to like suck my own dick, but...
I don't know if that was the greatest, the most horrific thing I've ever seen.
Don't watch YouTube this week, anyone. Don't watch YouTube.
Especially Lena's small school friends.
What is it? Do not repeat. I admit, do not repeat.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we're associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
So, Jamie, should we bring him in?
Oh,
bring
go
the
on,
piece
then.
in?
Go on.
Welcome to the Chronicles of Michael Aloisi.
Michael Aloisi is an incredible author. He's written books and stories all from his own mind, like Mr Bluesticks 50 Handfuls, and so many more. Not only that, he's worked with some incredible people like Kane Hodder, Tom Savini to write their biographies. This is an incredible, incredible conversation. This is top tier. We had so much fun doing this. You're going to love it.
It is very much out the blue how great this is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you expected horror stories, think again, people. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Do you supposedly have any final words?
Just a massive thank you to our wonderful guests. Thank you for coming on and spending time with us. This is so much fun. And everyone, enjoy it.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. We enjoyed it thoroughly, and we're so excited to bestow it upon the world. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Michael Aloisi. Yeah.
Hey there.
There he is.
Michael. How you doing? You okay?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Sorry, I was literally singing your name before you turned up. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a British thing. I'm not entirely sure. But I was literally just going, Michael Aloisi. I quite like it. It really worked.
I should hire you to introduce me for everything and be like, woo!
Aloisi. Yeah, sorry, I'll stop.
I was actually going to confirm the pronunciation of the surname, but as he smashed it, I don't need to.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'm enjoying the flashing Funko Pops behind you.
Yes, Funko. Yeah, those
That's
are my
awesome
childhood ones. The horror ones are everywhere else, all over the place. But yeah,
nice, beautiful, Michael. Thank you so much, my friend, for doing this. I really appreciate. Well, we really appreciate you. Even sorry, Jamie.
I appreciate it too.
This is it's going to be a lot of fun. Basically, what we do is Jamie's going to do like a nice little introduction, make you feel quite at home, lure you in with that false sense of security, and then we're going to absolutely bombard the living hell out of you with questions. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I like it. I like it.
Magnif.
Shall I do my intro?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you another wonderful guest who has dedicated his life to telling stories, whether they be his own, from his own beautiful mind, or from the stories of others. This man is an author, a publisher, and just so happens to be good friends with a serial killer. That statement will make more sense as we go on, I promise. Everyone, please join me as we bring you the Chronicles of Michael Aloisi.
Hello there. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely. How was your holiday season, Michael? Did you have a good Christmas and New Year?
Good. Yeah, my wife got COVID the day before Christmas, so kind of threw everything off a little bit. But we still were able to get it done like a week later. But it was nice.
That's rubbish. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible.
Could have been all right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She was fine. She just had a sniffles, but we had to keep her away from the kids.
Stay away.
Yeah, like, get back. No outbreaks here.
Yeah. Which leads me quite beautifully, actually, into how was your pandemic season? I know, obviously, it's still here, but it's not as rife as it was.
honestly, as a writer, pandemic was nice for me because then, I just got to stay home and sit at my computer and do stuff. Although I did not get nearly as much writing done as I thought I would, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I have so much time, I'm going to get stuff done. And then I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do anything, like that kind of thing. But it was nice, because no one I knew got sick or had anything horrible. And so it was just kind of a nice year home of just, doing housework and, getting stuff done. So it was decent. Yeah.
Good.
I love that. It's like, I've got plenty of time. I'll start Monday.
Yeah.
I've still got loads more time. I'll start next Monday. It's fine.
Yep. That's what it is. Over and over again. That's what it was. I'm like, oh, I'm going to write this today. I'm going to do this. Then I'm like, oh, I did this. And around the house and nothing. Yeah.
Maybe one. So take us back, sir, to the days when you were a young boy. What did a young Master Aloisi want to be when he was growing up? Was it always in the world of writing or something completely different?
No, actually, if you told a young me I was going to be a writer, I would have laughed and never believed it. I struggled with reading. I never liked to read. You would have to tape my eyes open to read as a kid. And so it wasn't my cup of tea. But growing up, I changed what I wanted to be like every other week. And when I got older, I actually had a teacher. We had like a career development class in high school that was helping you to figure out what you want to do. And I explained, she's like, what do you love? And I'm like, well, movies. And she helped me realize that every time I wanted to be a different thing, like one week I want to be FBI agent, one week I want to be this. And it was because it was the movie, whatever movie I was in love with at that time was what I wanted to be. And so she's like, well, why don't you just go to school for movies? And I was like, that's a thing we can do, because back in the 90s, I didn't realize that was like, a possibility. Now every single kid in the world has cameras and is a filmmaker. And so I was interesting. So I went to school to make movies. And slowly as I was in film school, I loved it, but I realized I didn't love the technical aspect. Like, I didn't have to having to get the camera lens and figure out the lighting and angles and all these things. And I realized that I was helping everyone with their stories and the writing and all that kind of stuff. And so when I graduated, I kind of transitioned over to writing. I thought I was going to write screenplays, but then I got stuck writing my first screenplay. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll write this out as a story. It'll help me flesh it out. And so I started writing it as a book and never went back from there. Just kept writing from there and went back and got my master's. Actually, I got my master's in England over there. Yep. And been doing it ever since.
That's amazing. I love how you went following one passion, went, actually, now I'm going to turn the corner. I like this a bit more.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that passion led me to the true passion. But then I mix in the movies by all the things I do. I still work with movie related things, which is cool.
That's absolutely.
I think it's difficult, isn't it, when you're like a teenager growing up into like a young adolescent to be like, what do you want to do with your life?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I teach filmmaking to high schoolers, and it's funny because when it comes time for applying to colleges, so many kids, they get that pressure of, what are you going to do? You have to pick a degree, you have to pick your school, and so many of them are like, just they have no clue, and there's so few degrees that are just general degrees, and everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't get a general degree because then it doesn't. And so they're all like that panic. They're like, what do I do?
Yeah. Oh, come here, be fine.
Yeah, like I have to decide my whole life right now.
I don't even want to be a doctor, but I'm going to medical school. It's something. So there you go.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me laugh at that as well is, you go into education to learn how to do something, but you don't really know if you're going to enjoy it. Because I went to college to study to be a chef. I did a year working as a chef, and I was like, this is the worst decision of my life. Get me out of here.
Yeah. That's what's funny, because I thought I wanted to be a cook at one point, and I worked in a restaurant as a teenager, and I loved it. But then by the time I was like 16, 17, I realized I hadn't been home on a holiday for 4 years, and I was like 17. I'm like, I haven't been home for Thanksgiving, for New Year's, for anything, because we had to work every holiday. I smelled like fish every day when I came home. Worked every weekend, and I was like, I'm 17 and I'm already cranky about this. Maybe I shouldn't do it being a cook. That kind of, But I still love cooking, just not for not for a living.
Just at home.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing I've always admired writers for is their ability to like have an idea and then be able to translate that into a story on the page. It's something my brain just will not allow me to do. Did that come like natural to you with learning, or was that something you had to like really focus on and teach yourself?
For me, that's it's just natural, just the way it happens. Like I didn't realize, like growing up, I used to just write down stories, having no clue I was being a writer or wanted to be a writer. But I would just be so bored in someone's class, like a teacher's class, that I would just write a story to tell myself because I was bored. So looking back, I'm like, oh, I was writing back then, but I just didn't there was no concept. But for me, I start with like one line, and and then it just comes out nonstop. Comes out until it's done. I'm not one of those writers who have like a big board with all the written out plot points and all these things. This and that. I'm like Stephen King has in his book, he talks about it. It's like a fossil, to where you just have like a little tip of something poking out, and you're like, "Ooh, that's an idea," and you just keep on unearthing it until you get it out, and you're like, that's this dinosaur, that kind of thing.
That's so cool.
Me, it just kind of always just comes out, kind of thing. So yeah.
I love the idea of you sitting there going like, and then he got out the knife. It could be his mother. Yes.
But it is when I'm writing, it's literally like one of the most enjoyable things to me writing, because it's like watching a movie that I'm part of. Because I'll sit there and also like, oh my god, I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm like, oh, wow. And I keep typing, and I'm like, this is so exciting. And then I'll run to my wife or somebody, like, you don't understand. I just did, and they're just like, okay, like they don't get it, because I'm like, yeah, but it's so cool.
My brain is amazing. Why don't you appreciate it?
Exactly. I'm like, this was genius. Like, you need to appreciate this more.
So you said you studied film and then went to do your masters in it. What did you do your masters in? Sorry.
It's a master's in creative writing. So it's an MFA, which is higher than an MA, which that's how they pitched it to us. I don't even know what the difference is, but yeah, in creative writing. So it meant that we went to an abbey, in a 1,000-year-old abbey in the middle of a tiny town where I still had thatched roofs. And so we had this giant like mansion, and we would sit there next to a fireplace that was taller than me, and everyone would drink wine and eat cheese all night and talk about books. Of course, I don't drink, so I just ate the cheese, but that was the master's program, which was really kind of a cool experience,
I mean, I'd be there for the cheese. Like, screw the writing.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah. Every night. Watch. Is it camembert tonight, darling? Lovely, yes.
Yep.
So what I could tell from my research, your first published work was Mr Bluestick, is that right?
Close. That was my second one. 50 Handfuls was my first one.
Okay. The timeline, I got the timeline completely wrong with.
Oh, no, that's fine. They were close. They were close together, yeah.
So 50 Handfuls, did you say? Sorry.
Yep.
So was that the first story that you'd written, or was that just the first one that was published?
It was the first one that I wrote. That was a full length thing. That was the script. I was trying to write that script, and I was so stuck that I was like, I'm going to write it out, and it just became a weepy drama, which is now I'm 80% horror. What I do, but when I was just writing that, it was just the story that was stuck in my head that I wanted to write, and that's what came out, was a weepy drama, which everyone still loves. The people who have read it and stuff. So. Which is good. Actually, it just got picked up to be translated into Danish. I think that's the language. What do they speak in wow, I'm good at pitching my own stuff here. Holy cow. What do they speak in
Denmark?
Belgium? Denmark? Oh. Yeah, Denmark. Belgium?
Yeah, Danish. Yeah. Belgian is Belgian. Yeah. Yeah. And then Denmark's Danish.
Yeah, so they're just getting translated into Danish. That one and Mr. Bluestick are both getting translated into Danish in the end of this year, and then early next year they both come out. So yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. I really love the look of Pieces. I was reading the little blurby bit about Pieces, and I quite like the idea of it. So I'm actually quite tempted to pick that bad boy up. I like the idea of like serial killer that's chopped with 30 pieces, 30 boxes. 18 founders, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So serial killer kidnaps a girl, cuts her up pieces, mails it around the country to random places, and then 18 are turned into the police immediately, and then 12 aren't. And then the book is basically about the 12 pieces that weren't turned in, and so the kind of short stories about like why these people didn't turn in these body parts, and that mixed with like a through line of the serial killer and a reporter that he's taunting. And I wrote that with Rebecca Rowland, who's an amazing horror writer who's done really well and stuff. So yeah, it's one of my favorite books because I think it's my best writing, because she pushed me to write better And I think it's really kind of fun and interesting. I love the concept of just, you get a body part in the mail, what do you do? You know, that kind of thing.
I wonder what I'd do.
I'm just thinking of what
exactly.
would I do?
What would you do? You know?
Scream.
The normal person would call, be like, "Excuse me, please." But the people in the book don't do that. Yeah.
And where does the name Author Mike? Because if fans know you as Author Mike, I've got a feeling I know where it's going. But
it's mostly because my last name, no one can pronounce it. And so when I was first starting to do writing, I was like, well, I don't want to put Aloisi, .com or this and that. And so when I was picking a website, I was like, I need something that's easy to say to people. And so it just came as Author Mike, and it kind of became a brand now. And so it works.
That's awesome. But you've got 3 books under Michael Gore.
Yes. Yep. So those are my creepier, gory short stories, which the stuff I love to write. But it's under Michael Gore because of the first couple of books, the Mr. Bluestick and the 50 Handfuls and White Ash, had a very strong middle-aged women fan base. And I didn't want them picking this up going, oh, it's another book by freaking out, and be like, what the heck is this? So that's my area where I do kind of really gory, gross things and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, fair play. You're actually looking out for your fans. That's awesome.
I try.
That's great. It's funny because when I was reading like some of the Amazon reviews on some of your books, there was quite a few that were like, "Oh, me and my friends read this in book club and we absolutely loved it."
Yeah, those are the 50 Handfuls Mr. Bluestick ones. Yeah, there's not many horror book clubs, which kind of makes me sad. I wish there was more. Because there's not many horror fans sitting around going, "Let's read this together." Unfortunately.
You're right. I never really thought
about 100%. Yeah, should actually get. They'd be like, "Have you read Author Mike's books or Michael Gore? Either or, you've got to read them."
Yeah, have you read?
Yeah,
I like the one where the skin starts pulling off, and
So, where do you get your ideas for your stories? Because obviously, you said you've done like a horror. There's books appealing to middle-aged women, all sorts of different sort of stories. Where do you get your ideas from?
So my brain is weird. It's constantly like paranoia, and just I think a childhood of not having friends and watching a lot of television, to where every single thing is just a story to me. To where my wife and people who know me get annoyed because I'll look at something like everywhere. Go out somewhere and I'll look and I go, "There's a bag. Someone left a bag over there." I bet you there's a severed hand in it. Just random, whatever. And then what are you talking about? The freaking bag. And then, someone picks it up. I go, my idea was better. Then that's So yeah, so it's just literally I have a file with over 280 story ideas that are in it, because every day there's something I'm like, ooh, what if that happens? I mean, most of them are just a sentence or two, but they're literally just I look at something and I go, ooh, what is that? And then I think about something like Mr. Bluestick, which is about a little girl who has an imaginary friend, and then it ends as she disappears, and everyone realizes that it wasn't an imaginary friend. That was started, creepy. It's not a really scary story, though. It's more of a drama. That started, I was on a train, because I'm from Massachusetts, and I lived in New York at the time, and I was going back to New York, and I'm just sitting there, it's nighttime, and I'm looking out the window, and I saw a bright blue light in the middle of the woods. And I was just like, the hell was that? And so I just wrote an entire book about what that blue light was in the woods. I mean, just a split second thing I saw, but it was something that stuck in my head. I'm like, I can't figure out what that was. So, a whole book comes from a split second thing like that. So
wow. So where did the love for horror come from then? Was that movies growing up?
That was growing up. I mean, when I was young, I was petrified of horror movies. To where and I remember it was kind of a weird thing. I remember being 6 or 7 and seeing a Guns N' Roses poster and being like, oh, freaking out. Because it was skulls. Because it was a skull and guns. And so I was like, oh, that must be scary. Looking back now, I'm like, oh, that was stupid. But I was petrified of horror. And then I went over a friend's house. I want to say when I was like 13. And his friend's mom rented Friday the 13th Part 3. And I was freaking out. So I sat on the couch way back with a pillow. And I'm acting like, it's no big deal. And then as I started watching it, I'm like, boobs. All right. And I got I got a little closer. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. And it opened this door of wow, this is really cool, and so it just became this obsession to where by the time I was like 16, 17, my whole room was, all horror posters and, and figurines and stuff like that. And it's been a lifelong obsession. Like I can't turn my computer, but if you have a life-size Frankenstein over there, I got monsters everywhere and hockey masks and all kinds of stuff. You can see him behind me, the little zombie and stuff and all the stuff everywhere. But yeah, so it just became a lifelong love of horror movies and horror stuff.
I love that the answer was essentially boobs.
Yeah. Like, ooh, boobs. That's what got me go, wait a minute. All right, I'll look at this. I'll watch this.
I could put it with blood and gore for boobs. Come on.
Exactly.
Win. Absolute win.
So, as I said in my intro, you've not only released your own stories, but you've worked with other people to tell their stories. One of the books that really stood out to me, and that was Arm Candy. Because I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sure if this was a true story. Is these real stories? This is all real happened?
Yeah, so Arm Candy, I co-wrote with Chris Gaida. And so his job was a unique Hollywood job to where he was a celebrity escort. Not the way you're thinking. He was an escort to where at like the Academy Awards, the Golden Globes, like big fancy parties, he would meet the celebrities on the red carpet, bring them to where they're supposed to be for like their interviews, usher them to their seats, take them to the after parties. He would sit in their seat when they were up on the stage, so he would escort them through all these parties. And so it was a unique story about his crazy life of working with every different celebrity in the world and kind of the behind the scenes of this world of award shows and stuff like that. And so it was interesting because big publishers wanted his book, but all they wanted was to have dirty like gossip. And so he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, it's just, I'm going to tell you what I saw, but I'm not going to just go and be like, and then I saw this guy do coke over here. It's like, it was more of just about this career and these cool things he did and stuff. And so, I ended up getting to write it with him. And, it's an interesting story, but it did huge for me because it was on Entertainment Weekly. It was on the cover of Vogue in Italy. It was on New York Post and thing. He was on like every single TV show. Ryan Seacrest did a whole thing about it on E! News. I mean, it was a big deal for me. So it was kind of cool getting it all over the world, seeing it and stuff.
And it was weird though, at the same time, being like, I did that.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. Yeah. I mean, my name's not on the cover, which is fine because we co-wrote it. So it's on the inside, but it's still something I did, all over the place. And Yep.
Doesn't matter. It's still there, regardless if it's on the outside or inside or whatever.
Exactly.
It's still there. It's still your work.
Yep.
What's it like co-writing? Because I can imagine it's either a lot of, well, what this, but this, but this. Well, like this idea.
So there's different types of co-writing. I've only co-wrote with him, and then with Rebecca. Rebecca and I have a good way of writing to where we kind of take pieces of things and like, she does this part, I'll do this part, that kind of thing back and forth. With him, he kind of wrote a draft and then I went in and then restructured it and wrote a lot more. Said, okay, we need to add more here, add more this, this and that kind of stuff, and kind of worked well together. I haven't had any situations to where butt heads with anybody yet, so which is good. But so I kind of find a good way to work with people usually.
Nice.
I was going to say, because I imagined with things like that, it'd just be someone sat there, like Tom was saying, you go, and then I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this. It's like, slow down, I can only write so fast.
It's super hard doing a biography. Like I love what the biographies are when they're done, and like the things I've gotten to do because of biographies. But doing them is really hard because a lot of times it's literally someone will say, especially when they're not writing, I'm just the biographer totally, and they're just telling me their story. A lot of it is like, oh, and then I walked into the room and I saw this. And I'm like, okay. And I have to turn that into 4 pages. Like just like this one little antidote. I have to figure out, okay. And I have to research where it was, what the place looked like at that decade, and then try to put in like, like when I walked in, I smelled the brassy smell of, whatever, and try to make it into a story. Because, in reality, all it was, not all as it was, but, I'm trying to bring the reader to feel what it was. When they're telling me just, I walked into the room, XYZ happened, walked out. And I have to add in all of that stuff and do research and stuff. So when I do biographies, it's work. It's literally research, figuring this out, trying to figure this out. when I do fiction, it's fun for me because then it's just I don't have to do that. I just go, whoo, just keep letting go and stuff.
I suppose they're both like really creatively fulfilling in very different ways.
What's that?
I suppose they're both like writing fiction and biographies, although they're essentially writing a book. I bet they're both creatively fulfilling in different ways.
Oh yeah. They're the same thing but very different. Yeah. So in the end, you have a book. You have a book at the end. And so it's still the same kind of thing. And the cool thing with biographies is that people connect to them more because they're a real life story, and they'll be able to talk to either me or to the subject of the book and be like, oh my God, my cousin went through the same thing, or I did, this happened to me. And, they kind of have a lot more deeper connection than fiction. Obviously fiction and people enjoy and can connect with it. But when people know it's a true story and can connect more, it kind of has a little bit more of a bond and stuff.
I like the idea when you're doing arm candy of you going like, so then I drove him around there. Did he put his teeth out? No, we just went to an award ceremony. Didn't he chop his leg off? No.
And this happened. I'm like, what?
Was there a bag?
I know I saw one.
And it did have a severed hand. No way.
Really? I knew it.
So, I suppose we had better talk about the hockey mask machete wielding elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So you've had a great working relationship with Jason Vorhees himself, Kane Hodder, writing 3 books of Kane. Did you know each other before working on Unmasked, or did you meet when working on the book?
Nope, not at all. Just growing up, I was a huge, horror fan, like I said. I had little Jason figures of all Kane's movies. I had the Uber Jason and all those in my dorm room, which always looked weird when girls come over and just look at all my monster and horror figures. They're like, I'm going to get killed, So I always had, I was a huge horror fan, and I just started my writing career. I had like 1 or 2 books out, or 3 books out about that time. And I took a break from writing one day, and I watched a horror movie, and it was Ed Gein, which Kane plays Ed Gein in the movie. And there's a scene in it where he has his shirt off, and he had burn scars all over his body. And I was like, oh, those are real. And I'm like, I remember hearing something about that. And so I looked it up, and I was like, trying to find the story. I'm like, I wonder if he has a biography. And I looked, and I found that he didn't. And I was like, I'm going to write him a proposal. Random, stupid idea in my head. Never did a biography before. I was like, I'm just going to write a proposal. So I put together a little proposal, found a contact online, and I sent it to him. Never thought anything of it. I was like, that's never going to happen. But whatever, it was fun. And then all of a sudden one night at 10 o'clock at night, because he was in a different time zone, my phone rings from a blocked number, and I'm like, so I answered. He's like, Mike, this is Kane Hodder. I go, okay. He was just like, no, this is Kane Hodder. I go, what? Yes, hi, what? And like my wife's not going, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? I was like trying to like act normal. And so he liked my proposal. He had offers from big publishers at the time. But he was really worried about being kind of sanitized, because he's very crass, and he's and he read some other of his friends' biographies at the time, and they were kind of just like, and then I did this with this celebrity, and they were kind of like very just like, hey, name dropping and this and that. And he didn't want that. And I said, look, this book will not come out until you are 100% happy with the content, this and that. And so he's like, okay. And so we went back and forth for a while. He agreed to do the book. And then the first time I ever met him was to start working on the book. We met up in Lake George. He was doing a ghost hunt type of thing. And we met, and we just hit it off and became incredible friends. And we're still, oh my God, I'm like looking over here like there's a calendar. There's nothing. And then like 13 years later now, we're basically best friends to where, we still talk, on a regular basis. We hang out whenever we can and stuff. And, and he's, talks to my wife and my kids all the time. He's just kind of part of the family. So it's kind of it was a weird journey of a complete stranger, took a chance doing a pitch. And then, we've had a crazy relationship,
I love the way life works sometimes. It's just incredible, isn't it? It's, funnily enough, and I'm so sorry to just bring this onto me for 1 second, but I interviewed someone 3 years ago who I worshipped growing up, and now we're best friends. It's really weird, isn't it? How how it just because not for a split second were you there going, it's obviously Kane Hodder right here. So just bear me one moment, Kane Hodder.
It's funny because I've either met, worked with, or hung out with every horror star there is, pretty much. And, knowing, like, having some of them on my speed dial, and, like, every once in a while I have to stop and go, wait a minute. I just talked to, Tom Savini today. I talked to Kane Hodder today. I talked to this person, just, emails, this and that. I'm like, holy crap. If my, like, 20-year-old self, if it, like, would have died. It was actually the first horror convention I ever went to. I had my Crystal Lake Memories book, which is a big, the complete edition of the Friday the 13th stuff. And there was 4 Jasons there, and I got them to sign all the books, and I'm like freaking out. This is like the greatest day of my life. And I literally turned to my wife, like before we left, and I said, if I could just meet Kane Hodder, I'll die happy. Like just that, just meet him. And then, then I'm like, and then like 10 years later, I'm like, Kane's gone. Like what? A weird kind of, story of going from, like literally going to die just to meet him to like, oh yeah, Kane's hanging out in the house, like, it's just so weird.
This is where you tell us you still haven't got him to sign that book.
Yeah. No, I did get him to sign. I was like, wait a second. I think when
Michael,
I first started it, he did it.
Have you ever thought of a career in comedy? Just asking.
I like doing like improv-y, goofy stuff. I always wanted to, but I'm too anxious of a person, too much really? Social anxiety and panic to do things like that. But I always wanted to get that.
Sorry, it's just the vibe I'm getting off you from everything that we've talked about. Stuff like that. I'm just like, you are one hilarious dude. Like,
I am very, very goofy. Yes,
I love it. But it brings me on to my next question. I watched you try and hand feed a lion.
Yes.
Now, the part before said you were attacked by an elk. It's a good job they weren't the other way around. That's for starters.
Yes.
But, oh my God.
Would be here.
Yeah. That lion was hungry. Oh my, I am not surprised you absolutely cacked yourself trying to give it. Is it chicken? Was it some sort of meat?
They were frozen chicken legs. Yeah, because they like to chew on them, I guess. So the funny thing with that is we went to this amazing animal sanctuary, me and Kane, and we were on the book tour and we're just filming what we did. And they let us literally go in the cages with animals, do all kinds of stuff. And it's a really cool place to where, they saved animals that were people tried to take as pets. Like actually the tigers there, I think the tigers were Mike Tyson's. They were Mike Tyson's old tigers that he had. Yeah, exactly. Because he wasn't allowed to keep them, whatever. But it was the only time that Kane is the toughest human I've ever met in my life. Like we've walked through haunted houses and he just walks through and he's like, nah, that's cool. Nah. Like, nothing phases him. And that was the only time I ever saw him go, holy crap. Because when those tigers stand up, they're 10 feet tall. So I'm 6'2", and Kane's the same height as me. And the freaking tigers are towering over us with the paws the size of our heads. And we're like, oh my God, like and getting that close to it, it's like, oh, and it's like trying to hand it to it. And you're like, oh God, it's terrifying, but amazing experience, to be that close to them,
Yeah, but what blows my mind even further is somebody wanted that lion as a pet, Michael. Someone wanted to keep that lion in their house.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of like those sanctuaries is to say, hey, look these aren't pets, like don't do this, And it's sad how many sanctuaries are like that around there that people take in these animals that people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this thing, just dumb.
Yeah. Oh, massively. Yeah. Oh, look at this little lion cub. Look how cute it is. Yeah. Give it a couple of years, and then we'll see how cute it is. Then, yeah.
We had
if you're around to tell us.
Yeah, we had a guy 2 years ago around here who he had a pet alligator, and it got out one day, and people were like, "Why is there an alligator?" Yeah, and it's like he's like, "I love it. You can't take it away from me." It's like alligator. It's like what the fuck.
Yeah. You might love it, but it's looking at you going, "Oh, God, I'm starving."
Yeah, he's like, "Just feed me." You don't.
Yeah.
You don't feed me, I'm gonna eat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, feed me you. I eat you. It's that story of that anaconda, isn't there? Someone kept like a massive anaconda or something, and it wouldn't eat anything. Like it starved itself for ages, and basically it was trying to stretch itself out so it could eat her.
Getting ready. He's like, that's going to be a good meal.
This lady thinks we're friends. No, she didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just being nice until it's ready. Eat more Oreos. Here you go. Not nudging those over. Like,
Snake just passing the snacks. I don't want it. You eat it. You eat it. Honestly, it's fine. I'm watching what I eat at the minute. But as we just mentioned then, but with feeding the lions and whatnot, I love the fact that you wrote this book with Kane and then we're like, let's go on a book tour. Actually, we're going to write about the book tour as well.
Yeah. So what happened originally was Kane, we're complete opposites. So where Kane is, I mean, he's literally jumped out of a moving helicopter onto a moving train. Like, I don't think you can get, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think you can get more insane than that. Like, that is the craziest stuff. And they had to do it like 5 times in the movie when they filmed it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm scared of my shadow type of person. So I'm like, no matter what it is, I'm scared of it. And so we just have this crazy odd couple relationship, and he's nuts. Like, he's awesome, but he's nuts. Like, he'll do anything to make someone laugh or just to make them get scared. Like, I've seen him, like, we were at a place once and there was a phone at a convention behind him and the phone rings and he just rips the phone off the wall and hands it to somebody, and it's just like, you just rip the phone off the wall. But, he's Kane Hodder, so he gets away with it. But, like, so we had this odd couple relationship to where we were always doing just weird, funny things. And so I started a blog keeping fans up to date about writing the book. And the blog was read in 50 countries a week. So I was like, you know what, let's release it as a book. So we released it as a book, and then we were going to do the book tour. I'm like, you know what, let's just bring a camera guy with us. We'll film whatever crazy stuff that we're going to do in each town. And so that became the TV show. And then I wrote another book about the whole tour and all the different things we did. And so we've had many, many adventures together. So it's been a little crazy.
That's insane. For people listening to this, though, who have no idea what a road trip with Kane Hodder must look like, apart from feeding lions, what other sort of stuff did he make you do?
I mean, we did everything from we do like competitions where we played Kegel, some bowling in Germany. I think it's called Kegel or something like that. And we bet each other. Someone had to eat liver type of thing. And then we broke into a castle in Germany, which scared the crap out of me, breaking into a castle. It was closed, and we broke into an old castle in Germany. Probably could have got arrested. We shot machine guns, because I've never touched guns before, and he made me go to a gun range, and we shot all kinds of machine guns. We drove dune buggies through the desert in Nevada. We went to an ice bar to where it was 30 below, and we dared each other to see who can go the longest without wearing the coats and gloves that you're supposed to wear, and then broke ice glasses on our heads, and all kinds of crazy, weird things throughout our adventures.
And you just wanted to meet him that one time.
Exactly. All I wanted was the one autograph. And I'm getting slammed and attacked by elk and things broken on my head.
I can't help but think, though, you've done all these things, and part of me's like, why would you do that? And I'm like, hey, Kane Hodder told you to. That's why you do it.
Well, it's funny because I always say that to my wife because she's like, you don't do things like that. I know. I'm like, I know, but Kane wanted me to do it. And she's like, so? And I'm like, yeah,
Is there anything you actually did say no to?
I don't know. There has to be somewhere. There has to be something. I mean, the only thing he's never getting me to do is drink. I've never drank alcohol in my life. And so every time, my entire time we go, everywhere we go, he's like, Mike, come on, you got to have a drink for me. You got to have a drink for me. Come on. That's the only thing I've never done. Was
fair play. Yeah, fair play. No, I admire that massively. I really do, especially with the alcohol culture.
No reason. I just never drank. I was a wuss as a child, just scared to do something wrong and drink, and that just became a thing where I just never drank. Yeah,
fair play.
I'd probably be a lot more relaxed person if I did. Yeah, but then I'd be like a really good writer because I'd be like that one, the typewriter with the drink and the cigarette, and like, yeah, write 500 stories, thinking it's really good, but like it's great.
Yeah. You wake up, be like.
It's literally just letters. I have no idea what it says.
So I've had this idea. It's about a frog and a caterpillar, and they go to Disneyland, all right? And then basically, and it's just like slur at the end. It's like there's just like the line just trails off.
Yeah.
In 2009, you started your own publishing company called AM Ink and Dark Ink Publishing. What made you want to start that?
So I was teaching a writing class for adults, and having gone to the master's program, there was so many things I was reading from students and people I went to the program with that I loved and I thought were awesome. but they weren't getting stuff published. And and then looking into the industry, figuring out, it's like, obviously writing, like, books are an industry. They need to make money on things, and so lots of times, even if something's good, it gets turned down just because they don't know what the market is, or they don't think they'll make enough money on the book. And so I was like kind of fed up with that, and I was like, you know what, I want to start something to where the stories I like we can put out and start and create things. I was really naive by starting a company, thinking I'm like, I'll just do this, not realizing it would be encompass my entire life and be 13 years later now and doing, we've done over 100 different books, with 3 different imprints. It became something that was awesome for me. It's very fulfilling to where, I can help people become going from a writer to a published author, and get to see our books all over the world and, get awards and get all kinds of stuff done. So it just became something I thought would be a cool idea and something like a fun hobby that turned into a full-time awesome thing.
Yeah, and I salute you for it massively.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's exhausting, and I want to quit every other day, but it's rewarding.
But imagine though, that being a published author yourself, to give other writers that opportunity to be published themselves, that's an incredible thing. Not only to do for you, but that must feel amazing to give people that opportunity.
It is. It's cool. It's also good to crush people's souls when I say no. No, I'm just kidding. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, story idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just started a public company just to turn people down. No, but it is awesome, especially when you see, you get to see someone sitting at a table and, they have the book stacked up and there's people coming to them and, and seeing them doing all kinds of stuff. And it's like, oh, I helped them do that and get there, which is really kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And then you said you've been teaching as well. You've been teaching.
Yeah. I've always taught on off and on. And, as a writer, you always have to do something else usually. And so I teach filmmaking to high school students, which I love. It's really kind of a fun thing. I have a full studio and all the state-of-the-art equipment and get to show kids movies and stuff. But the fun part for me is where I get to bring in all the celebrities I work with, not bring them in that often. I have a couple times, but, I get to say like, oh, by the way, when I worked with this or do this, and examples from the real world, and, bring it into the film stuff, which is really kind of fun and rewarding. And then it's kind of like the writing, to where getting to see that I helped a writer, getting to see a student find an interest or go to college for it or something like that is really cool. Cause it's like, then I know, what, I helped that kid, find their career path and start their life and stuff, which is really kind of a fun, cool thing.
Yeah, the world needs more Michael. The world needs more Michael, I tell you.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration, sir.
Thank you.
With that, saying, you're teaching kids filmmaking, you're writing these amazing books, which are getting incredible reviews. They are amazing stories.
Thank you.
Were you ever tempted to go back to that original career path and go, let's write a movie?
So I've written several scripts. I've had one that was almost picked up during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, based on Tales from Mortician, one of the first Michael Gore books. And we had it really close to getting picked up. And then the pandemic hit, and then it kind of just got all pushed back, and we never went back to it. So my ultimate dream is to have a couple movies made after my book someday. So I'll get back to it eventually, but time is very small when you have teaching children and a company and all kinds of stuff. And it's just a, constant chasing of things, but hopefully I'll get back to, getting just some screenplays out there and done stuff. Yeah.
What you told us about Mr Bluestick, that sounds like an amazing film.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah. I have sticky notes all over my desktop, and like my writing plan for the year, actually, Mr. Bluestick for a script is on there. So whether that gets done, I don't know, but that's like the goal for this year. Yeah.
So most people have like a to-do list. You've got sticky notes around your monitor, just like
lots of sticky notes, like 2023 writing plan. Has like what books I have to finish, what things I got to do. Yeah.
Just quickly going back to your publishing company, I realized, do you focus on any like specific genres or books with the company, or is it just like whoever wants whatever?
So we have three imprints. So we have AM Inc., which is our children's books, some novels and short story collections, like mainstream ones, and then a couple of mainstream biographies. And then Dark Ink, which is our biggest one, is all horror or dark based books. Like we just started to do some dark crime books. And so those are kind of all of our horror stuff. And then we have Spooky Ink, which is children's books that are kind of like monster themed and creepy things, which I love that kind of stuff. So we kind of cover a lot of stuff. We don't do poetry or romance or history books or military based books. But we do basically anything in horror, a lot of kids books, and then some mainstream kind of books. So we kind of have our three that we work with.
I love that. It's like the complete opposite side of the spectrum, isn't it? Kids books, horror books.
Yeah, it is fun. That's why we had to have the different imprints, But it's funny because we only have like one page for like social media stuff. So it's like one day it's like a bloody book cover, and then fluffy kittens. It's a little. We probably need to separate that at some point, but yeah.
Have you ever wanted to write a story a bit more close to home, like involve maybe your family, and make it a bit more personal without making it about the family? That makes sense. Am I making sense?
No, yeah. So it's funny because there's different types of writers to where, first of all, as a writer, no matter what, if someone knows you and they read your book, every single time they're going to go, "That's Charlie, isn't it?" Right? Right? Charlie, right? And so no matter what, people who know you are automatically going to think that it's someone or personal or whatever. So I know some writers who literally every single thing in their books is either something they experienced or people that they have worked with or known or something like that. And then I'm the type of writer to where everything is just 100% fake. I just literally make up everything. Very, very, very rarely will I ever take a trait from somebody or do something like that. So I don't really want to bring the real world into my fake stuff. Obviously when I do some nonfiction of my own, then it's all about me. But with the fiction, I kind of just keep it in my own fantasy world of fake kind of stuff.
No, fair. I mean, no, absolutely. Has there any been a point there when you've been writing stories where you've finished it and then gone back and gone, "Oh, actually, I might tweak. Oh, actually, I don't know if I like that part. Oh, actually," but then you get to a point where you start to over adapt it, I suppose.
So my weakest point as a writer is the editing. So because I have so many stories in my head that I just want to get them out. And as soon as I finish writing the story, I don't want to ever look at it again. It's out of my head, it's done. If that would be my ideal life, to where I could finish it, not even read it again, and just hand it off to someone. That would be my goal. Hire just 10 editors, take it, go do something with it. But yeah, so when you finish though, I always go back and I'll read it and tweak sentences and lines and change things, or oh, this doesn't work, fix it and stuff. But I'm not a heavy rewriter or heavy editor. There's Jeffrey Devers, one of my favorite crime thriller guys, and he says, supposedly, which I don't understand how he does it, every book he'll write the whole book and then he gets rid of 90% of the book and rewrites it. And I'm just that's just a waste of time. Why would you waste your time? But that's supposedly what he does. Obviously he's worth $500 million or whatever, but still, so it works for him. But for me, it's I just want to get it out and then I'll read it over, clean it up a little bit. But yeah, I've never gotten to that cycle of redoing it because I'm always want to get on to the next thing.
That's crazy. What if he writes a #1 bestseller and doesn't realize it?
Exactly. Yeah. My theory there's so many people I know who are writers who they've written like 5 novels and never published any of them, or stories and this and that. My whole thing is it's like being a chef and you just cook food and go dump it in the trash and someone can eat it, whether it tastes good or not. Someone can eat it, so why let it go to waste? Use it for something, clean it up, put it out there. Even if you just self-publish it, put it somewhere small, use it, put it out there,
Yeah, because then surely you could just destroy the original and then rewrite what he does anyway. But having released the original, I don't
use
know.
Use it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're saying that, but I noticed I believe it was on Amazon, I noticed it. Mr. Why is the name gone out of my head? We've only just discussed it. Mr. Bluesticks, that's it. Did you release it twice? Because I saw you re-released it.
Yeah, so when I first did those books, they were self-published when I was early 20s. I put them out there. And then so my company picked them back up and put them back out I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that, with new covers, and put them out in a fresh book with a cleanly edited and stuff like that, kind of retake it and put it back out.
I was going to say, did you go back to make any changes, or you just like, nope, this is it?
So I did a little bit. Like, I read through and I cleaned it a little bit, and it was hard because part of me really wanted to go back and kind of gut it and redo it and this and that. Then I was like, you know what? I want to kind of just leave it. This is what I wrote at the time, and I kind of want to just like leave it as that. And I actually there's a little note in the front of the book from me about that, kind of saying, this is the reprint of the book, blah, 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 and how I didn't want to change it. I still think it's one of my best books, the story-wise. So I didn't want to gut it. Like, I actually I wrote, because I read a lot, I wrote 5 novels in my mid-20s, back before I had children, before I had anything to do. I wrote 5 novels that I never did anything with. They're all just sitting there. And so I decided this year on my to-do list to go back and try to finally clean those up and put them out. And I'm finding that I'm enjoying it, but my writing was different, obviously. Back then, it was 15, oh my God, almost 20 years ago now. So it was different. And I'm kind of struggling with, like, do I rewrite the entire thing, or do I just kind of clean it up and it is what it is and I put it out? So I'm kind of going back trying to figure that out with it, which is a little weird. But, it's hopefully they'll all come out eventually and they'll be good.
You mentioned that Mr Bluesticks is going to be translated to Danish. Now, we spoke to an author last year who had one of his books translated to Colombian, I think, or Spanish, and it was not the correct story. It was like something completely different. People were like, this is shit. This is awful because it's been mistranslated or whatever. Have you ever had that, or does it ever concern you?
So I mean, well, obviously that would suck, yeah. But I mean, the translations are new to me. Like, I have actually over here, Tom Savini's amazing biography. This is actually the Brazil edition, which was translated into Portuguese, which I didn't know they spoke Portuguese in Brazil. But this is exactly. This is the Portuguese language edition. But I'll never know if it's bad because I don't read it, but it looks pretty faithful, so part of me, like, does worry about it, but at the same time, I wouldn't know unless there's really bad reviews, that say, it's horrible and stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of it's a concern, but hopefully I just gotta trust the publishers that they're going to do a good job and get it out.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I didn't mean to put that down in your mind, Michael. Sorry about that.
But yeah, now I'm like, oh God, I can't.
Like, I've got to learn Portuguese.
Like, I haven't slept in a month now. Yeah.
I love the fact you own a copy. You could never read it to know, but it's like, well, hey, my name's on that. I'm having it.
So this will go on the shelf, like nice little display piece. I love it. They did a really cool cover because they did like the Creep Show classic.
Awesome.
Kind of cover. Yeah, I think it's a really cool. Like every page of it's like super designed and like really cool, his name and stuff. And, yeah,
that's so awesome.
My name's on there. There's my name. But yeah, so I always want to keep, a library of all the things I've done. So
that must have been amazing to work with Tom as well.
It is, yeah. I mean, it was one of those things to where, I'm sitting in his kitchen in his house, and then all of a sudden you realize I'm like, I'm in Tom Savini's house, just hanging out. It's just like a holy crap, like this is weird kind of thing, because Savini is like literally, one of the biggest gods of all time when it comes to horror, and his house is literally the greatest place in the history of the world. It is. He's lived in the same house for 60 years, or he's 70 years since he was born. Lived in the same house, but every inch of every room is memorabilia of things, and it's not just him. He's just a massive horror fan, or movie fan, and horror fan. And so, like, there's skulls in one room and thrones in another room and, like, life-size figures in another room. His whole bedroom is, like, action figures. And, like, he has all the heads from Dawn of the Dead around his bedroom. And, like, just, he has, a movie theater room, a game room, just tons, like, every inch. I'm like, Tom, is that? He's like, oh, yeah, those are the monkey from Monkey Shines. I'm like, oh, my God. Okay. Like, he picks, like, one day he was, like, going through a stack of stuff. And we're trying to look for stuff for the book. He's like, oh, look at this. And I'm like, what is it? He goes, oh, that's the original script from Creep Show with all my notes. And I'm like, and there's like handwritten notes from Romero and like Stephen King on it. I'm like, Tom, do you realize this is worth a lot of money? He's like, oh, cool. Throws it in a pile. I'm like, oh, like, holy crap. It's like, it's It's like being in like the best horror memorabilia room in the world. It's like, Yeah.
Go on, Jay.
I was going to say, I don't think I could imagine waking up in the middle of the night though and being surrounded by Dawn of the Dead zombie heads. That would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah. And he's got life size, like his giant robot in his bedroom. There's like everything. It's so cool. It's like literally the biggest movie nerd's like dream home. There's actually if you go on YouTube, there's I forgot the name of it, but if you type in Tom Savini like house tour, you can actually see there's a guy went over and did a whole tour of his house and all the things and stuff, which is really cool. And his college, which is also freaking amazing.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Do you feel that the horror genre, or the horror movie genre, has almost got to a point where it can't go any further? Because there's so many classics that you don't really hear about that much anymore. They're like, oh my god, this new horror movie's been unbelievable, and you don't really get classics anymore. Does that make sense?
It's weird because I'm assuming we're close-ish in age, but like I can't imagine like almost everything back then was so iconic and legendary for us that I can't imagine someone like in 30 years being like, oh man, Conjuring is like greatest. I mean, it's an awesome movie and it's scary, but it just they don't have that sense of like wonder anymore of like, to where it's like, man, we're going to talk about this kind of movie, and so I feel like it's evolved into a different kind of thing, to where it's just, a different generation of it kind of, which it's still horror and it's still awesome, but there was just something magical about the 80s and into the 90s kind of thing about it,
Because they've just obviously released the trailer for Scream 6. Sorry. And I was just like, Scream 6? Why?
Hey,
I think Michael Myers has been around forever as well.
I Scream though is to me, I don't care if they make 105, I'll see them all. I love it. that was the movie that kind of like really like turned it for me to where like I was really loving horror movies. And then I was 16 when it came out, and I went and saw it in the theater, and I was just like, like whoa, like mind blown. I was like, this, it kind of pushed me into the path of horror, So I'll always give it my money.
The reason I feel like horror now isn't as iconic is because you don't have those iconic characters anymore. Whereas your Jason, your Freddy, your Michaels, your Pinhead, all that. Yep. There is none of them anymore. Yeah.
And the funny thing though is, like I wanted to write an essay about it, then I was like, I'm not gonna. I'm too lazy. But it's the internet world now. Everyone wants to complain. Like no matter what it is. People would rather they get so excited to complain rather than ever say something's good. And like we just got like a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre last year. Not the greatest movie, but there's some amazing kills in it. It's still Leatherface running around killing people, and there's nothing but hatred and this and that. And like, the originals. It's like if you go back and watch the originals, they're not good movies. They're fun, but they're not high art. You know what I mean? Like Texas Chainsaw 4. Is ridiculous. It's like they're not high art. And yet now, because we have these mouthpieces to where we can complain about everything constantly, I don't think we can bring these characters back to where they're going to be good films, because no matter what, we're going to constantly, every person's going to be yelling, going, oh, this is horrible. This person sucks. Or this, it's not good anymore. And it kind of like destroys that, that word of mouth that we had when we were kids, to where we'd be on the playground or at school going, yeah, the new Jason movie. And I'm like, what? Tell me about it. You have a trailer telling you a trailer is going to come out tomorrow, and then you have, like 500 notifications and this and that, like every, and then we dissect the trailer. Then you have 500 YouTube videos going, okay, man, we're going to have a reaction to the trailer, and then we take it down to where like we can't just enjoy it anymore. It's just like becomes this, like we're going to pick it apart until it's dead,
So true. I can't stand them reaction videos. I can't. Yeah, like you said, like they pick every last bit apart. Oh, they might have teased this. Do you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait for it to come out. Yeah,
just watch the movie.
I'm Dwayne from Iowa, and basically what we're going to do right now is we're going to break this down.
Exactly. I have no experience in any of this. I have no degrees in any of this. I've never done anything. Yeah. Watch my video because I'm nobody. And it's like, but yet then they'll get 38 million views.
That's the worst part. They get like 6 million views.
That's what I.
And everybody else starts telling their friends.
Yeah, I fight with my students all the time and my kids because they rather watch YouTube over anything. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're watching so many of these videos are just talentless people who are making horrible quality things, and yet they're more famous than than movie stars now, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm like, they're literally just going, oh, "What's up, guys? It's me." Blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay, like any idiot could do that in 30 seconds. It's just like, oh, I'm an old man now. I'm just like, darn kids, get off my porch.
It's not as good as back in my day.
When I was a kid, we had to watch Jason in the movie theater.
Yep. We had to wait to find out he went to space.
Exactly. The final frontier.
Compose ourselves, right? So with your publishing company, one last thing I wanted to ask about is: can people submit their work to you? If there's people listening to this who want to get their work out there, can people submit their work?
Yeah. So normally we're open for anybody can submit. We have the guidelines on the website that say what we take, what we don't take. But we've for this year for the first time we've actually have open call windows now, so where you can only submit during certain periods, only because we've gotten way too many submissions. I think there was 1 month where we had 400 submissions in 1 month, and we're like, okay, we gotta like simmer this down, and we got 20. I'm looking at my screen, not just like randomly spaced. We got 20. I think 24 books in production right now. So there's a lot. So we're pretty full until 2024. So there's certain windows, so people can submit, but they have to just check the windows of when they can submit and stuff. Yeah,
that's all. Yeah. It's amazing to see that many people are like submitting their work, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome, and but it also shows you how hard it is, though, too, when you're a writer in the creative world to try to get that into that world there, break in.
Yeah. So when I was looking at some of the reviews of your books, as I was saying, there's some amazing reviews out there, all sorts of different ones. Like there was one comparing it to Silence, one of the books comparing it to Silence of the Lambs. There's like incredible reviews out there. But if people listening to this wanted to check out one or two of your books, which ones would you recommend them to go check out? I know it's like asking you to pick a favorite child, but
well, it depends on what they like to read. So if they're not horror fans, then I would read Mr. Bluesticks or 50 Handfuls. If they're horror fans, then I would read Pieces, which I think is one of my favorites, or Skeletons in the Attic, which is all a collection of short stories, kind of gory. So if you're in the gorier side, like the Skeletons and Tales, if you want more of a dark crime and weird twisted stuff, the Pieces. And then obviously if you're a horror movie fan, then like Kane's biography, picking up Unmasked. So it just kind of depends on what your type is, what kind of thing. So the one thing I hate more than anything is when because we'll do like book giveaways or do something, and then someone leaves a review and be like, I hated this book because I don't read horror. And it's like, so why'd you read it? Like I got literally so many reviews like that where it's like, I hate horror, this book sucks. It's like, so why did you pick this book up? Like that kind of thing. Yeah, so
keyboard warriors. Absolute keyboard. That's like the people that complain about a festival lineup. Don't go then. Don't spend 253. But just don't go.
Like, go that week. Yeah.
Mental. People are crazy. Just want to write for. Again, they're like the YouTubers. Yeah. Like Dwayne from Iowa reviewing Scream 6. It's just I'm gonna write a review. Yeah, this book does suck. I don't like horror either. Okay.
Sucks.
Then why are you here?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I always find it funny too. It's like, kind of grew up with if you don't like something, don't say anything, and it's like, but with the internet, it's like, I'd rather hate something. Like, if you love something, most people don't leave a review. It's like, oh, that was awesome. They don't leave the review. They like to leave reviews when they're angry. Like, I hated this, like if you go on like Yelp reviews, things like that. It's almost always just because they're angry. Because no one goes on there when they're happy to leave reviews,
I wish I'd give this negative stars.
Yeah, like, if I could give it 0, I would.
Before we start wrapping up, though, is there anything you're working on that you can talk about? Anything you've got coming up that you're needing to promote or anything like
that? So I have Do Not Open, which is the third in the my Michael Gore horror short story series coming out in, I think it's March. There's no set date yet, but I think it's around March coming out. I have a really big book. It's the biggest book I ever wrote, coming out in August, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, because it's actually a huge book with Simon & Schuster, which is, one of the biggest publishers in the world. Yeah, so I'm not allowed to talk about it, but it's another celebrity biography, which I'm excited about. And that'll come out in August, so that'll be a huge deal for me. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, and then playing out the next books as I get going.
Just knocking off them Post-it notes.
Yeah.
Incredible. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guest?
I do. When you were obviously growing up hating horror and not reading anything, did you ever think that going through, to film writing school and everything, becoming basically who you are today, like writing all your stories, hanging out with the biggest horror stars in the world and that sort of thing? Did you ever think that would ever happen growing up?
When I was 9, I said, what, one day I'm going to be a huge author. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was just, I won't say a dumb little kid, but, I was like that little kid who, like, I remember I failed high school freshman English. I got a 47 in English, and I never kind of really looked to the future. I just had no plan, and something just clicked when I got into college to where, everything changed. But yeah, I never would have thought it when I was a kid that I would be a writer. And I guarantee if you asked anyone in my life at that time, they'd be like, that kid writing? I think so. Like I was in the remedial English classes when I was in elementary school. So those teachers would have been like, nah, this kid would be lucky if he reads a book, So, which is why that's why I don't judge kids, though. Because you never know. You get that slacker. Like, actually, no. Which I don't know if Okay, so I'll say when I was in film school, I was like the super studious guy. I was there 15 minutes before class. I was the one doing all my work. Like constantly on top of everything. And then there was this group of like 5 guys who would come in because the classes were 3-hour long classes, and these kids would stroll in high as a kite, like 5 or like an hour into class. This and that. They would slack off, hardly do anything, and I'd be up in the front of the room going, like whatever, guys, I'm doing my work. Those are the ones who all became famous. They literally, one of them. But I won't reveal because I don't want to say that they were the horrible slacker kids. But a couple of them end up having their own TV show for 10 years. Another one is a very famous director. Another one became a big producer, and another one was an actor. So all of them, the kids who I was like, whatever, all became famous, and I'm like, damn it. I'm like, so I don't try not to judge people. Fuck. I don't judge people anymore, because I'm like, you know what? You don't know what that kid's gonna be,
It's kind of amazing as well. At the same time, like, I can't put it into words. I think that's like weirdly incredible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, mother, like, oh my god, like you absolute But also, don't. No, I won't say that. Don't try hard, kids. Don't try hard at all.
Yeah.
This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us and doing this.
Thank you. This is fun.
Before we let you get out of here, though, any plugs, social medias, anything you want people to go check
out? Just authormike.com is all my books and my upcoming appearances. I'm booking all my conventions for the year and different appearances. Kane was just offered England, but I think he's turning it down, which I should talk him into. Be like, let's go do it.
Nice.
Yeah. So all my appearances are on there. I post a TikTok every day, which is just I think it's Author Mike is still my TikTok as well. But yeah, I post a TikTok every day, and so find me on TikTok and go on there, and that's me.
And I think you should definitely find a job in comedy as well, if you can fit it in with everything else.
Exactly. The 4th job, we'll put it on there. Yeah.
Add it to the Post-it notes.
Yeah. Do comedy now. And then I go up and I bomb, and I'm like, I hate those guys. They told me to do it. I quit it.
Fucking Brits.
I'm so embarrassed. Their humor over there is so different than ours.
Kane, we've got to go to the UK so you can kick their ass for me.
Exactly.
Michael, this has been great. I've had so much fun. This has been absolutely fantastic. You've been a hero. Enjoy your evening, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
This is great. Thanks, guys.
Great.
Take care, Michael. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. What an incredible conversation. So much fun.
We've set the bar high for already, and we're only in January. What a great interview that is.
Absolutely incredible. Anyone that says they get their love from horror from one simple thing, and that be boobs, is an absolute legend in my eyes.
Michael, thank you so much again. We really appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat to us. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it.
Mr. Stevens.
Why do we make it sound like Santa? Yes, Jamie.
Santa? Anyway, it's audience participation time.
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. This week we said, oh no, Freaky Friday has happened. This week we're asking if you were to swap bodies with any celebrity for 1 week, who would it be? Why that person? What you getting up to? Is it Lindsay Lohan? What say you, sir?
So I have two answers to this.
Okay.
The two people that I was... So first of all, John Oliver, obviously. I'd love to present that show. No. I'd love to present that show. That's the worst thing I've ever think of in my life. I'd love to present that show. I'd love to just be on Last Week Tonight and just present it as him doing it. You know, it's all still him. It'd be great. And the other one is Brian Danielson, the American Dragon. Again, he's tattooed on me. I worship the ground he walks on. I love him to pieces. He's literally my idol. So yeah, those are the two people I choose. Obviously not hilarious or funny answers. They're just two people I admire and look up to. So
I like it. I feel like my answers are going to be really obvious. First off, it's going to be Kevin. I just want to spend a day in his life and just see how.
I love how you point to your arm. Like people on Spotify go, "Yeah, I can totally tell who that is."
I did answer it properly afterwards. Come with the guy that just tried to suck his own dick on video. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Kevin Smith. I just love to spend a day or a week, as this is, in his life, just seeing how his mind works, and I just think it'd be great. And my other one is Paul Stanley. Come on, he might be 72 years old, but that dude is still kicking ass. I just love to see what a day in his life would be like, or a week in his life, performing to huge crowds all over the world. It'd be fucking awesome. And then I'd go back to being me. Let's get some answers from our listeners. Well, first off, he's not technically a listener, but he still gave me an answer. That's my son, Sam. His answers were, I'd want to be The Rock. So then I could be big, I could be strong, and I could pick up Kevin Hart. I did try to find out why he wanted to pick up Kevin Hart, but he just went, I don't know.
You could pick up Kevin Hart as Sam.
He probably could. And then he said, I'd also like to be the guy who directed Cats, so I can inflict physical pain for making such a terrifying-looking movie.
Fair enough.
To be fair, Cats does look absolutely horrifying. I've never watched it, but I don't want to. It looks terrifying. James Corden as a cat is not someone anyone needs to see. Anyway, let's get to some answers from our other listeners. But by the way, I'm going to preface it this one. Is that the right word? Preface it? Anyway. You're all a bunch of fucking perverts. That's all I'm going to say. You'll find out why now. Keris Mansfield. I would like to be Kim Kardashian for a week.
Of course you would. Yeah.
Because
she's
idolizes her. Personal trainer, a chef, and looks amazing all the time. I'm not sure I agree on that one, but yeah. If you worship the ground she works on, fair enough. Gemma Williams. This is where the perversion comes in. Jason Momoa. Why? Well, because I could see something so sexy up close and personal and may have to direct message someone to find out how to pee as a man, though. That's fair.
Sit down.
Make life easier. Leanne Victoria. Zendaya. I'd spend a good few hours just looking at myself in the mirror and then have the opportunity to ride Tom Holland like a pony. Win-win.
Never know. No, I'll go for Tom Holland, though. Interesting choice.
I know, yeah. This one made me absolutely howl. Graham Arnold. I'd swap with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He looks like he likes to work out. My body needs it, but I can't be asked to do it myself. So once we swap back, my body would be in a better shape and his would need more work after my binging on sugar and pizza and hard carbs, which in turn would make him happy to work on himself again. I could see the logic, Graham.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering how much of a difference he could make in a week. but
probably not. Oh, they could probably destroy stuff quite a bit, to be fair.
Probably it is Arnie. Lucy Orchard says Tom Hiddleston for reasons unspeakable. See, all perverts.
He is a legend, though.
He is a legend. Harrison Smith. Oh, both my sons are getting involved this week. Richard Hammond says I can get in a car and race around a track and not crash.
Fair. Fair choice.
Yeah. Claire Jones, again, the perversions, always. Nikki Reed, obviously because she's got a perfect body and perfect hair and has absolutely nothing to do with her husband. If you don't know, her husband is Ian Somerhalder. And Claire has been obsessed with Ian Somerhalder since she was very young.
I don't know who that is.
He was in Vampire Diaries, I think it was called. I don't know.
No idea.
No idea. Ian Shaw, Shakira, you do not want to know what I'll be doing. And it's not shaking my hips. Laurie Jean, Blake Lively, purely for the hubby. A week for me to have him? Yes, please. See, even everyone's a pervert. But it is Ryan Reynolds, so fair enough. Can't argue with that. Graham White, Rupert Murdoch. I just want to see how crappy someone like that can be and get away with it.
Yeah, fair.
Jamie Walker. The great Carly. I just walk around and show everyone my presents. Why would anyone want to spend a week as the great Carly?
Take him 4 years to get down the street.
It really would. This one I feel like you're going to have to explain because you've laugh reacted and I don't get it at all. But Lofi Jones, Amos W. Frubbish, or Landlord Pine Socket. I could go either way. As you're pissing yourself laughing, there's got to be a story here.
I can't tell you, unfortunately. I have to I can't tell you why. I can't. I actually can't.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. I'll cut that one out. It's pointless. Rick Joyce says, I've got so many options. Putin, I could stop the war and tell the world all the secrets and free the country from the tyranny. Like it. Trump, I could admit everything and give the FBI full access. I definitely like that one. Bezos, I could instantly fund water aid, feed the homeless, etc. for the next decade or two. I was going to say Elon Musk, but he doesn't have the money anymore. And Josh Weldon, apologise for everything. Fund a project, guaranteed 6 full seasons from an unknown writer. Oh, wait, that's me for the week after. I like that. Give yourself an opportunity. I like that.
It's Josh Whedon, but yeah, we know who you meant.
Yeah, I did think it was. It was up to this. We've got 3 more left. Jerry O'Keefe. This one made me laugh so much.
Jerry O'Keefe. Yeah, this is great. I was hoping it's still here.
I would swap with Baz Black and try on a shirt for once.
Phenomenal.
Great answer. We love you, Baz. Last 2. Mally Malpass. The question isn't so much which celebrity would I like to live in for a week. It's more which celebrity would I want to obliviously wake up in Neath and then have to deal with my ex-wife, my children, my minuscule bank balance. I mean, how long would it take Elon Musk to get my body and his mind sectioned for trying to convince my ex that me invented self-driving electric cars?
Great. Absolutely incredible.
Superb way to put a twist on that. I absolutely love it so much. And last but not least, you know who it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ryan Williams. So are we keeping our minds? Because the asshole in me wants to swap bodies with someone who is popular for being annoying, like a Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Brie Larson, or Ezra Miller, and just kick a puppy, eat a baby seal, destroy Planned Parenthood, punch Tom Hanks. Just spend a week doing stuff that would utterly destroy that person's career. Then after the week, I'm back in my body and I could just watch and enjoy what I did to destroy that person. It's either that or I'd swap bodies with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and since he has my body, maybe his workout mentality will help my body. Also, while I am Dwayne, I would use his money to set up investments to help my family. But mainly, how awesome would it be to be The Rock for a week? I mean, you're fair. I just fucking love that punch Tom Hanks.
What's Tom done?
I know. Leave Tom Hanks alone.
He got off an island, for fuck's sake, on his own. Fair play to him.
Yeah. He only had friends with a volleyball. Oh,
great film. Great film.
Yeah. Oh, superb. I enjoyed them this week.
We do love those answers. We appreciate everybody that gets involved, actually. So thank you so much for everyone that participated, as it were. And if you enjoy James' Participation Challenge, Tom's Journal, Callum's Treachings, the interview, and all the absolute wanky shit we talk at the beginning, then you enjoy the other 71 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Google, Apple, etc., etc. You can also find us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when more videos are released, and comment. Also on there, you can find our hashtag WBW Way Back Wednesdays alongside our Bloodstock interviews and vlog. So please go and enjoy those bad boys as well. There's some absolute quality on there. It was I was actually a flick through the past couple of days. I'm so proud of everything that we've achieved with everything we've done. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. See it all there in one place. Stunning. You can also find us, Jamie, on Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Please hit the like, hit the share. Put memes, put GIFs in, just share it with everyone. Tell everybody about it. Get liking that page. But thinking about it, Jamie, where else could you find us?
Sitting there at home watching Friday the 13th again. Boobs.
Or on the Twitter at TCO Pod. Alongside watching Friday the 13th and on Twitter, where else could you find us?
Where could you find us? Sitting there scrolling through YouTube, looking at all our amazing videos, going, do you know what? You should all watch these because we've spoken to some amazing people.
And on the Instagram.
All there.
At TCO Pod. You can also find us on LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast. Please come and connect with us there. And you can find us on TikTok at the Chronicles of Podcast as well. Lots of videos. Go and check out Jamie's Chesney Hawks video. I'll talk about it every week. I don't give a shit. You can also come on down to our beautifully brand spankingly sexy and wonderfully gorgeous little delicious little website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. All of our shows and episodes are on there. All of our us are on there. All of our affiliations and sponsors are on there as well. Sign up to our Patreon. There's also a shop. The Chronicles of Podcast. Download us, review us, share us, rate us, subscribe to us. Tell all of your friends about us, whether you be at school or not. Allow us into your ears. But most importantly, is that Vengamus here yet? Is it not? I thought it was coming. They keep mentioning about it coming. They keep saying it's coming. And apparently, maybe it's because everyone's jumping. That's probably why it's slow. Yeah. New York to San Francisco as well. That's going to take about 6 days. Okay. Well, can you let me know when it's here, please? Okay, thank you.
Before we get out of here, let's say thank you to a few of our friends. First off, we have to thank wonderful singer-songwriter Matt Roberts. Every single piece of music you hear on this show is delivered to you by that one incredible man. Go follow him on all the social medias at Matt Robert Music. Go listen to him. Go find all his music on Spotify. And make sure you're following him because coming out 3rd of February is his brand new album, Light of Day. We are very excited. We cannot wait to hear what Matt is putting out into the world. If you haven't already listened to his previous album, Vida, go do so now. Some absolutely incredible songs out there. You would be missing out. And of course, we have to say a thank you to Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com or download the smartphone app. Add one of everything that you like to your basket. I am hoping that Sophie Lancaster collaboration t-shirt is in there. Or you see that hat Tom's wearing? That hoodie that Tom's wearing? Add those to your basket, whatever you like the look of. And when you get to the checkout, enter The Chronicles and get yourself 10% off your order. A little gift from our friends to you. And last but not least, it's the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. Their message is so goddamn prevalent. You're the one that's good at English. Was that right? Prevalent? It's so goddamn prevalent at the moment. There's so much happening in the world, and I can't believe these are still happening. I've mentioned over the past few weeks the whole goth baby thing with loose women. We had the issue on the Graham Norton show where, oh my God, why names are completely escaping me. Where Margot Robbie was put down for being a heavy metal fan because she said she listened to Slipknot and she was put down for that. Absolutely ridiculous. I want you all to go doing me a favor. Not only follow the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, go and find Danny Winterbates from Bury Tomorrow on Instagram. Go follow him. He put up the most beautiful post earlier today as we're recording this. And it just says it perfectly. The whole message that we're trying to spread. People should not be treated differently because of the music they listen to, the way they express themselves, anything. It is just making them an individual and enjoying life as they want to. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So please head on over to Sophie Lancaster Foundation.com, click on the hate crime tab, and there is a questionnaire. Fill that in if you have ever been treated differently. Share it with your friends, share it with your loved ones if they've ever been treated differently. The world has an incredibly massive alternative subculture, and we should not be treated differently for wanting to be ourselves. Let's be honest, if you think about it, it's probably not even a minority. The alternative subculture is that big. There's no way in hell it's a minority. So why we're treated differently for that is absolute bullshit, and it needs to end now. So again, SophieLancasterFoundation.com. Support them however you can, because they are trying to do that, to achieve bringing that to an end by making it one of the strands of hate crime. I got very passionate and went off on a huge spiel then. Anyway, and last but not least, a massive thank you to my very handsome co-host over there. Just look at him.
Go and follow Danny Winterbates at Dan Berry Tomorrow on Instagram. That's his handle. So I couldn't agree with you more, Jamie, to be honest with you. And that was a beautiful post. That's why I had to share it with the world. Yeah, absolutely. Nailed it once again. Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was great. Just so great talking to you. I'm so excited for everyone to, for it to hear it. If you've heard it, I hope you enjoyed it. But Jamie, another great episode. Another one in the bag. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that as for this week, we'll see you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.